Do you use treats or food to train your horses?
So for me personally, I don't use food or treats to train a horse, okay? Now the real answer is there's no right and wrong answer. There's no right way to train a horse and wrong way to train a horse. Some techniques and methods and styles of training suit this group of people, and other techniques and styles of training horses suit this group of people. So there's no right and wrong answer. Reality is what works for you, and if it works for you, knock yourself out, keep doing it. I'll just tell you why I don't use food to train a horse, okay? As far as I'm concerned, I don't use food to train a horse because I want to have a plan B. I want to have a plan C and I want to have a plan D. Meaning that if you use food to train your horse to do something, what happens if he's just not hungry? What do I mean by that? Anytime a horse gets scared or gets stressed or gets worried, food is not high on his priority list. In fact, food's not important to him at all. Food is not a motivator for a horse anytime stress comes in, anytime they're fearful, or anytime they're worried about something. They're not interested in eating. Now, dogs, very much predators, are motivated by food. Dogs are highly motivated by food, dogs are. But as soon as horses get stressed, worried, confused, okay, or intimidated, or anything they're not happy about, food's the last thing they need. That's why using food to get a horse to go into a trailer never works. That's why getting a bucket of grain or a bucket of feed and trying to get a horse into a spooky trailer never works because the fear of the trailer outweighs the food. So if the horse doesn't want what you've got to give him to eat, what's your plan B? Nothing. Bigger bucket. Plan C, a bigger bucket. You've got no plan B, C, or D. There's nothing to go to. So if he doesn't want to eat it, you don't get him to do what you want him to do, okay? Now, I have no problem with somebody giving a horse a treat or something as a reward for doing a great job or a reward for doing something well, but make sure you understand there's a difference between using food to get him to do it or food as you did an extra good job today, here's something special for you. And the other thing I want to tell people to consider is this, okay? Remember, when I'm teaching people, I'm teaching hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. So the vast majority of customers that come through my doors at Down Under Horsemanship are in this category. I didn't use that word all, but the vast majority. They have horses that are pushy and disrespectful and that are running over people. They're running amok with their owners. That's how they find me. Clinton, how do I get my horse to stop biting me? How do I get my horse to be good to catch? How do I get my horse to stop bucking with the saddle? They've got problems going on here, okay? So I'm trying to teach them leadership skills. I'm trying to teach them if you're a great leader, your horse will be a great follower. I'm trying to teach them horsemanship skills, how to move their horse's feet forwards, backwards, left, and right. I'm trying to get them to get their horse to use the thinking side of their brain rather than the reactive side of their brain. These are all skill sets that the human has to learn and then in turn teaches it to the horse, okay? So I'm not trying to get them to beg their horse to do something through food. I'm trying to get them to teach their horse to do something through release of pressure. If you do what I want, I'll get you to feel comfortable. If you don't do what I want, I will slowly but surely escalate the pressure. And the second you even remotely do what I want, think about doing what I want, act like you try to do what I want, I release that pressure. That's what motivates them, which is exactly what horses do in the pasture. When one dominant mare in the pasture wants this other mare to move away from the feeder, what does she do? She doesn't bribe her with feed. She doesn't pick up a bale of hay and drag it over there and say, look, you can have this one. She doesn't bribe her. Come over here. Move away from the feeder. There's a treat over here. What does a dominant mare? This is what horses do to each other. This is as pure and natural behavior as you can get. When she wants this mare to move away, horses have a pecking order. You have the number 1 horse in the pecking order all the way down to the number 10 in the pecking order. So number 1 horse, the dominant mare, she's going to pin her ears back and ask this horse to move away from the feeder. When a horse pins their ears back, even though it kind of looks ugly to us, that's their most polite way of saying, move your feet. Even though it looks sour to us, that's their way of saying, I'm asking you to move away from the feeder. If this mare doesn't move and she challenged the authority of the number one pecking horse, her next move is she's going to pin her ears and act like she's going to bite. That's another body language. I'm going to act like I'm going to bite. If this mare leaves the feeder, it doesn't escalate. No more pressure is added. If she stays there, this mare now is going to pin her ears, act like she's going to bite, and she's going to bite this horse. Again, if the other horse runs away, there's a release of pressure. If she doesn't run away, this dominant mare is going to turn around and act like she's going to kick. If he still doesn't move, she's going to kick. If she still doesn't move, she's going to keep kicking this mare until this one goes away, which is a release of pressure. But then again, this mare might want to be number one in the pecking order. She might be dominant. So now she'll turn around and start kicking this mare. So now you've got two horses butt to butt kicking each other. Whoever moves first loses. That's the rule to horsemanship. Whatever horse first loses. Whoever moves first loses. So if this dominant mare moves first and runs away, now we've got a new horse in the pecking order. Now we've got number one. Or if this one goes away, she gets what she wanted. She got the other horse to move away from the feeder. But it all started with pinning their ears. Then it escalated to biting, then kicking, and then continuing to kick until you got the reaction she wanted. But then again, this mare might have started kicking her until this one went away. My point is, horses escalate the pressure. They don't keep nagging. She doesn't keep pinning her ears for 7 hours. Can't you see how cranky I am? Can't you see my ears are pinned? Why won't you move? They don't beg. They use pressure, and it's the release of the pressure that teaches the horse what they want. So I might get my stick and I might ask the horse to go forward towards the trailer. If he doesn't want to go, I'll tap gently with the stick behind the drive line. If that doesn't work, I'll tap firmer. If that doesn't work, I'll tap firmer. And I'll keep tapping with rhythm and firmness and increase it. But the second that horse even stretches his nose towards the trailer or steps towards it or lowers his head towards it, I immediately take that pressure away and rub him. That's a release of pressure. Again, I can't make a 1,000-pound animal do something it doesn't want to do. But what I can do is mentally and physically make him uncomfortable for not trying to do it. But the second he does try, it's extremely important that he feels comfortable and safe when he does it. So that's how I do my trailer loading method. After an hour, horses that didn't want to be in the trailer an hour later, not only do they want to be in there, they love to be on there. They run in the trailer. It's a place of reward because I make outside the trailer look difficult and inside the trailer look easy. Okay? So I don't mind using a treat to reward a horse. Hey, great job today. You did awesome. Something like that. But the whole point of it is called a treat. So when you offer it to the horse is like, oh my God, for me? Thank you so much. But when you feed treats so much that when your horse walks up to you, he starts patting you down. Okay, where is it? Come on, show me the treat. Where is it? Where is it? I know you got it. I know. When they're doing that, it's lost its meaning. It's not a treat anymore. It's expected. So the second your horse expects to get a treat, give them nothing. Nothing at all. But when they're not expecting it, and if you want to feed them a treat and you give it to them, you're like, oh my God, for me? Oh, you're awesome. Chomp, chomp, chomp. I tell people this, okay? I don't care if you want to feed your horse 5 buckets of treats every day. 5 buckets of them. Knock yourself out, okay? But you better balance it with 5 buckets of move your feet forwards, backwards, left, and right. Because as a general rule, the people that are very treat-driven, the people that really use food, what I've noticed 100% of the time out of 28 years of doing this all over the world, the people that have a tendency to really be food-driven with their horses have the most pushy, disrespectful horses. It's just that simple. The more treats they give them, typically the more shitty behaved they act. Because they're not ever asking the horse to move his feet. Okay? So feed 5 buckets of treats, move his feet, 5 buckets of move his feet. Balance it out. Okay? Make sure you balance it out there. So it's not that treats cannot get a horse or food cannot get a horse to do something. It can. But it can't get him to do it consistently, on command, right now. That's where food will let you down. is because anytime the horse feels stressed, insecure, nervous, worried, or just plain doesn't want to do what you tell him to do, like just a fuck you day, it ain't gonna work. That's that simple. So people also say, well, Clinton, if you feed treats out of your hand, does it teach horses to bite you and be mouthy? The answer is, in my opinion, no, as long as you balance it by moving his feet. If all you do is feed your horse food and treats, yes, they'll bite you, they'll nip at you, they'll get mouthy, they'll get pushy. But if you give your horse treats and then you immediately make sure you reinforce, move his feet forwards, backwards, left and right. You can move his feet forwards, backwards, left and right. He won't bite you. He won't get mouthy. Horses are like people. They're just different when it comes to food. There are some horses that you can give them a treat and it just blows their brain up. Like, I mean, it's like crack cocaine. It's on their mind for the next 6 months. So Marty and Shayna, okay, the horse that Shayna Terry had, my professional clinician, Marty, the Liberty horse that she trained with me, okay? She never fed Marty hardly any treats at all. Because anytime she give him a treat, oh my God, it was on that son of a bitch's mind for the next 4 weeks. She give him one treat out of her pocket, that's all he'd think about. Every time he'd walk up to her, where is it, where is it? I gotta have it, I gotta have it. It overwhelmed him. Then other horses like Diaz, you could give Diaz 10 treats every hour, and some bitch acts like he's never seen one before. You pull your hand out, he's like, oh my God, is that for me? Holy shit, that's awesome. He just doesn't connect it. So every horse is a little bit different like that, okay? But I don't want the horse focused more on the treat. I want to be the treat. I want to be the one he's focused on. So again, for all the people that are into clicker training and food-based training, if that works for you, great. You just keep doing it. I'm not going to say it's wrong. I'm just told you why I don't like to use it. But there's really no right and wrong way to train a horse. I just don't do it because I don't think it's consistent, I don't think it's practical, and it doesn't work for 99% of the people in the world that want to damn train a horse. But if it works for you, keep doing it. Doesn't bother me. There really is no right and wrong way to train a horse. If it works for you and you like it, keep doing it. Okay? That's the cool thing about horsemanship. There's no right and wrong way. I might say, have an opinion and say it doesn't work as well, but that doesn't mean it's wrong by any means. So remember, you can feed your horse all the treats you want, but balance it with 5 buckets of treats, balance it with 5 buckets of move his feet, forwards, backwards, left and right, and earn his respect. We want respect without fear.
Take your horsemanship to the next level. The No Worries Club Premium membership is your ultimate portal to complete your horse training. You'll have access to Clinton's complete training library, thousands of hours of step-by-step instructional videos. You'll master all aspects of horsemanship, from fundamentals to trick training. You'll have access to our exclusive social network that connects you with thousands of dedicated horsemen from around the world. You'll have the method available wherever you are and accessible through the web, your phone and tablets, or your favorite streaming devices. You'll receive 8 all-new training videos per year and the quarterly No Worries Journal, as well as access to the ever-growing video library, Q&As, performance horse series, blogs, and more. But that's not all. You also get free tickets to walkabout tours and priority access to the latest news coming from Down Under horsemanship. Not to mention VIP pricing on all of Clinton's must-have training tools. So what are you waiting for? Unlock the ultimate access and jumpstart your training program today.